think she was like 16 when she did it.
So many dead babies. What?
What's this dead?
Did you bring it?
Chunks of dead prostitute. You guys are remarkable. Did you guys call each other and coordinate your wardrobe today, or?
Well, you know.
I'm Captain America. She's Batman, and you're nothing.
And you're.
I'm
G.I. Joe.
like
You're a
G.I. dude.
I need something for points.
Oh, okay.
Guy
points?
or whatever.
Sweet.
The points don't matter.
Yeah.
Everything's made up, and the points occasionally matter. That show's good. The new version of that show's good.
I haven't watched it as much.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Whose
Whose
Line is
Line?
it anyway?
Oh,
The new
yeah.
Whose Line? It's actually decent.
I like Aisha Taylor.
I haven't watched the
Tyler Taylor.
Who's on it?
All the same
Regular
old
crowd?
people, except Drew Carey doesn't host it
It's
anymore.
Aisha Taylor.
Aisha Tyler. Yeah.
Interesting.
Lana.
She's funny.
Lana hosts it.
Lana!
Interesting. I might try it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You can watch them all for free online, I think, too.
Probably.
Yeah. Hi, everybody!
Distracted Gaming Podcast. Like he said.
Yeah. This week we're playing Zombie Dice.
Zombie Days.
So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. Honey, you want to start? And we'll go around this way.
Why don't you introduce me, everybody?
No,
Mike?
fuck that noise.
Nobody knows who this guy is. Introduce him.
Okay, here's a white guy.
I'm the token white guy for the day.
For as always, Chad! Woo!
Thanks for coming, everybody.
For the first time ever, and maybe the first time only, Thomas!
Don't
I got kidnapped. Help me. Send help.
And because we need boobs on this that are not Chad's, Andrea. Not right next to the microphone. If you could move them just that far away. Like under the table,
No,
maybe.
she'll never do that.
Then we can see your dumb troll face you're doing right now. All
That's
right.
the point.
Hey, guess what, guys? I have news topics. Oh, we're gonna start with Downer, actually.
Man. Oh, we can go there?
Yeah.
Okay, do it.
Joan Rivers passed
What?
away this morning.
Yeah, she did.
It kind of sucks. But she's been in a coma for like a week. So
And did she have more plastic surgery? It just said
no, she
surgery.
was getting vocal cord replacement
Or
Okay.
something.
because she fucking screams constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
She's 80. She was 81, so I'm sure she has to get. I'm sure it's like a regular thing for
like
her getting vocal cord work done.
Yep, I'm sure. Yeah.
Because she really does holler at people, and she's got a grind to her fucking voice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Did she smoke for a long time? Didn't she?
I'm sure. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
smoked back then.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
So I'm
This is
sure.
what
Yeah,
she did.
I'm sure she just had. I'm sure this wasn't her first time getting her
I'm sure
vocal
not,
cords
yeah,
repaired.
yeah.
But while she was under, she had she went into cardiac arrest, went into a coma, didn't wake up. They pulled the
Right,
plug this morning.
Yeah.
And conspiracy theorists, I mean, you can do what you
What's
will
the
do. That's
conspiracy
fine.
theory involved
No,
here?
the people have already come out like, no one should go into a cardiac arrest having that procedure. Someone has done something.
She's 81.
Exactly. Amnesia, anesthesia goes under the
Yeah,
knife.
I mean, it's
it can for an 81-year-old. Most of the time,
That's a lot of stress on the body
Exactly.
at that age.
It's a stress on the body regardless. But yeah, with 81 years old,
It's rolling the dice every time you have a procedure, isn't it?
what I wonder is if, and maybe it's too soon, but what I'm curious about is if people
He's
don't
gonna
look
beat
at
you to the
her.
joke.
People don't look at her and go, "Oh, she's 81," because of course she had so much plastic surgery.
No, people look at her and go, "Hey, it's Mickey Rourke."
Which one is older, Melissa or Joe? Did they keep a running tally? Who got the most plastic surgery?
Oh God, there's no way to keep up.
That's got to go to Michael Jackson. Got to.
He changed fucking gender, genders too. The whole fucking race.
Yes, I mean, yeah, totally. I mean, obviously.
Some people go to Starbucks. Some people go under the knife every other week.
Yeah. I will say
gotta
this
pick
about
your
Joan
poison, I
Rivers.
guess.
Yeah.
I will say this: pioneered comedy,
Absolutely.
especially for women. Did some stuff that nobody was doing, man or woman, back in the day. Really great stuff. I remember from back in the 80s and right up into the 90s. Got to admit though, wasn't a huge fan of her up to this point with the whole fashion police thing.
Yeah,
not my thing.
I think
but
that
I give
show.
her her due.
I thought that show was incredibly mean.
Right.
Like,
there was a lot of punching down.
Well, she went from like a pioneer, like a female comic, to just like the one who puts down women day in and day out. Which, no offense, you kind of went from like really helping the cause to like, kind of furthering this idea that like,
only beauty matters.
Right. I mean, all the plastic surgery, all the terrible comments about like what you're wearing really doesn't help.
But at the end of the day, it is just comedy.
Yep.
And
Exactly, and she didn't leave it up just to the ladies. I mean, she punched a few dudes.
The big question will be though, what will she wear to her own funeral?
Oh, that is a brilliant question.
It'll be who wore it better, her or.
Will she change?
Saddam?
Will she change with during the funeral?
Yeah.
There's a couple set changes.
She's got her evening wear and then her later wear and the wake wear.
She's got her, summer beach wear.
No, absolute pioneer for women in comedy. You can't ever take that away.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Joan. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
You're awesome. Also, you were hands down my favorite character in Spaceballs.
I'll give you that one too. Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, I just figured I'd get that out of the way. It's kind of
brilliant. Well done.
All right, let's move on to the first one that we could possibly have some enjoyment about. And I'm so pumped for this. Okay, The Tick.
I saw that.
Yep.
Very interesting.
The live action television show The Tick is coming back, baby. It's coming back.
That is fascinating.
Amazon Prime picked it up, and they also are in talks with. They've already released a few facts. Patrick Warburton will be starring again in the role of the Tick. If you get green runners, they turn into brands. Yeah. He will be in the starring role again as the Tick.
Nice.
Also, Ben Enlund, the original creator and writer, and had his hand in every version of the Tick ever. He's going to produce and write this show as well.
The red one out.
Amazon Prime, it really seems like, from what I've read so far, Amazon Prime is getting the fuck out of the way and sort of letting, Ben Edlund, the guy who created the whole thing, and knows how to write it, they're letting him do it, and they're bringing back Patrick Warburton because he knows how to play it, and they're just going, okay, this works. We know this has got to work, and they're just throwing money at it, I think. And I think that's
is the show coming back because they found a cure for Lyme disease?
No.
Because the first one only lasted, 6 episodes before we got
9 episodes, one
season. Okay.
Yes. Jeez, also, there was a bunch of shorts. They did some weird shorts. But, you cheating?
No.
You cheating?
She's totally watching me.
You cheating, motherfucker.
Make sure I didn't. I only got the one blast.
Shotgun blast.
Blasty thing.
Roll
the white one double. Roll the white one double. Do it. Damn it.
2 more brains. Look at that.
Oh, I can keep those for brains?
Yeah.
Yes, because you got that thing.
Because that stays out the whole time.
Yeah.
The original comic, for those who don't know, started in 1986, and he was like a background comic for the New England Comics group.
I'm taking a 7.
He was sort of a mascot for one group in New England. They had a New England's Comic Magazine or whatever that they did, and they promoted comics that were based in, like indie comics are based in and around the New England area.
No.
And he was sort of a...
Come back in the cup.
Okay.
He was sort of a spit take on superhero culture, right? And then he started to get his own stuff. He started to get his own comics. And from 1994, from 1996, he also got a children's TV show, cartoon.
Yeah, with 2 more.
I don't know if it was necessarily for children because I watched it, and I don't know. But it was a cartoon that aired on the WB.
I remember that comic. What was the name? The TV show. What was the name of this little, his moth friend?
Arthur. That was
Arthur the moth. Yeah.
Oh, you know Arthur.
Yeah.
You know the Tick.
Oh, yeah.
So, how excited are you for this?
It's pretty exciting. I will say, what I'm curious about, the problem I think they had with the first incarnation is they only had the rights to use the Tick and Arthur, so they had to come up with different versions of all the other characters.
Yeah,
and I thought that was a problem. I think ultimately that was an issue for the show.
I don't think they need to have, because they had a 4 main character rotation that they used in the series originally. I'm not sure they needed that when they did the show. I don't think they needed all 4 characters, like the buddy friends thing they were trying to do.
But that is one. If you're a fan of the cartoon, one of the nice things about the cartoon, what made the cartoon nice was that those other characters were there
to
bounce off of. So I mean,
but they weren't there all the time. They
True,
would come in and out. And
it's a good point.
Arthur wasn't even there all the time.
No,
it was about the Tick.
Yeah.
And his crazy adventures.
As long as they make it about the Tick, about Arthur, and if they're going to bring those characters in, they need permission to use the real characters. I want American Made. I don't want some incarnation of American Made. I want the Flater Mouse. I don't want some weird wombat.
I don't know how they're not
Fuck
going to get it. Who owns that? Warner Brothers?
Fox?
Probably.
That's a good question.
Well,
because
Fox
they were
had
all
the
they were all in the
live
cartoon, so it's probably a Warner Brothers thing.
Well, yeah, but it depends on.
But considering Amazon picked it up, doesn't that include all the side?
I would
Wouldn't
think
that
so.
include?
Should, but it depends on because it's the TV rights versus the animated TV rights.
Oh, we have a lawyer here this week, by the way.
Not yet, but yeah. So it depends on because if WB sold the rights to Fox to make the live action show, then Fox would have all the rights, so Amazon likely would. But there could be a difference in the animated rights versus the actual.
The reason I think Fox probably did have the rights to that stuff, but some of those characters were not PC in the slightest, like the Maid.
Totally not. Yeah. American Made, not PC.
No. That like not PC stuff. So I assume Fox probably did more acceptable versions of all of the characters, sort of a conglomerate.
More likely.
Yeah, so Amazon probably doesn't have to worry about that.
But they also haven't touched it in 10 years, so basically the rights would probably have reverted back to the creator. So he probably has the rights to everything because if you don't use it, you'll lose it, essentially.
The upshot is Patrick Warburton looks the exact same.
Yeah, it's like that dude doesn't age.
that dude hit max level really early.
And good for him. I'm glad he's getting. I mean, you've seen him in little things and.
Well, he's a voice for fucking everything.
Well, true.
Yeah, and every time I see him in a role, it's always a solid role, and he always does a great job. And I always wonder why he's not in more.
He does have his own TV show, doesn't he? The Rules of Engagement, isn't that him?
Got canceled last year.
Oh, it got canceled last year. Oh, so he's free now. Okay.
It was like a mid-season replacement that would come back every year because basically CBS had nothing else to put. It's got established, numbers, established the audience.
Yeah.
So basically, they would just bring it in as a.
It seemed like one of those CBS save comedies.
It's David Spade, doing David Spade, and I never found it to be overly great. But that's just me.
You know more about it than I do, man.
Yeah, there you go.
That much. No, but he's been the voice of Joe for the entirety of Family Guy, so
and
that's.
He's got a number of voice acting roles, which I think he's comfortable with. So
he's got a very distinctive voice. He's got like
that's
you can pick him out of a fucking crowd.
That's why you get those. I often wonder if he actually talks that way, or if that's just.
I think he does because he does it in every role.
I don't. It'd be hard for me to he's sitting at home talking to his wife. I wish I could do his voice because that would be a hilarious bit.
That's how he got his wife. I think that voice actually.
True enough.
I think that's how he got that woman. All right.
Yeah.
So, universally, pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a good deal. That's an exciting thing.
When do they think it's going to come out?
No word as of yet. They didn't say. When it comes to online shows, though, they don't just pick it up for pilots. It's not like TV.
True.
This show is at least going to make a season. They're at least going to make it a season of this fucking show.
Yeah.
So that'll.
Well, it's like Community. They're already guaranteed. They just no real idea when it's actually going to be.
Yeah, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. They don't have to jump through as many hoops and it doesn't cost as much.
True.
So they just all right, we'll greenlight it for a season and then we can just put it up. If it doesn't work, We don't have to bring it back again, but we might as well just do the whole fucking thing.
And you don't have to carry ads are going to work for that particular time. So
somebody's going to watch it, and it's worth their time. Yeah. It's worth their money.
So do you have to buy a Prime account to watch it now?
Yeah, you'll have to watch a Prime account.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Prime's getting more and more worth it at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, I don't have Prime. I have Netflix, but at this point, with enough stuff on it, hey, might be willing to pick it up.
I've had Prime for a year. It's worth it.
Okay.
Even if you just buy shit off of Amazon,
true.
The free shipping is worth it. But
it's the same kind of Prime?
Yeah, it's all one thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all that shit wrapped together, totally worth it.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime.
We wish.
Please be our official sponsor. Please.
We'll love you forever. Thomas will touch you downstairs.
It's true, he will.
For free shipping, I will think about it.
We were talking about this earlier. He will.
All right. Let's move on to the thing that's bound to piss Chad off for this week.
Great.
Okay, whose turn is it?
It's Chad's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greatest American hero.
Only person alive.
Yes, I saw this.
Only person alive who could know what this is.
No, I know it. I watched a bit of the show.
But I meant like you weren't around when it was, we weren't around when it was going.
You probably weren't around.
Yeah,
you probably saw syndication.
I had to sneak up out of bed and peek up over the couch while my father watched it. No,
really?
No, not really.
You got away with that?
No, I could stay up long enough to watch it.
Okay, cool.
But then I had to go to bed right after.
Fox has ordered a pilot of a reboot of the series.
Yes, they have.
Yeah. It's going to be written by Rodney Rothman, who wrote, he was head writer on Letterman for 3 years, and he wrote the screenplay for 22 Jump Street.
Interesting.
Everything else is sort of one or two off TV stuff he did. So he has experience in TV, he also has experience with comedy. I don't know.
Yep.
There's something there. As opposed to, what was the original guy's name?
William Catt played the original.
No, the character. Because it's a different name this time around.
Shit, I don't know. I don't remember. You're asking a lot of me.
It's effectively the same story arc, but the new character's name is Isaac. He lost the instructions to the super suits.
Right.
He's got an FBI contact, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Are they? I'm curious if then they're going to make reference to the earlier.
Oh, they have
series.
to. I'm sure that is the dude dead?
No, William Catt's still around.
Okay,
so he'll probably
be in it. Shit, he might be the FBI agent.
Yeah, right.
It's like a Flash.
That would be interesting. The FBI guy, the guy who played the FBI agent, I'm sure is dead. He had to have been because that dude had a reputation even then of being like this hardcore drinker smoker. So he's got to be dead by now.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah, that dude dead.
So is this Fox like trying to cash in on like the superhero craze?
Yeah, sort of. Also a license, like the average person who watches sitcoms on like the CBS and the Fox and stuff like that are also of age that they might remember Greatest American Hero. Right. So it's like kind of a cash in on the brand too.
Right. It was a semi-popular show. Back then, not having the internet, when it went away, there wasn't a big outcry. There was no place else for it to go. It's interesting they've waited so long to reboot it.
I think it's lived rather well in DVD. Is why it's still a thing. It's one of those weird shows that just survived a little better after the show than it did during the show.
There was a neat chemistry on that show. I mean, and it'll be interesting to see what they can pull off. Now, I'm not saying that I'm excited to see it because I think it's a fucking awful idea. But I can tell you this, I will probably watch the first episode.
They only cleared it for pilot. They didn't actually clear this thing to go.
I might watch a pilot.
Is there any shows that you could think of back in the day that should get a reboot?
Man. We're getting a new Chips movie.
Yeah, new Chips.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Dak Shepard's going to play the
actually I really like, so it could actually be decent.
Yeah, Dak Shepard's fine.
No, that's fine. But what I would prefer is they actually went and got.
They pull him out of retirement and stuff like that.
Whatever the fuck that dude's name was who played Punch. What was his name? He's still around.
I know.
Right? And the dude that originally played John, he left Hollywood after Chips because he had just a horrible experience with Hollywood. Yeah. But they're still around. Bring those guys back.
Geriatric Chips.
Do it. They're like the instructors now, or they're like, whatever the fuck.
I know. I couldn't believe about that when I read that this week is that this wasn't a rumor the same time Starsky and Hutch movie wasn't coming out. Like it wasn't the weirdly competing version. Because they do that there's 2 fucking live action Jungle Book movies coming out soon.
There's like 6 Wizard of Oz projects, all like the next 2-3 years, including.
There's always a wizard.
By the way, one of those Jungle Book movies is gonna be dope.
And why is it going to be dope?
Bennington Cumberbatch as Jagira or
what? Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
No offense, as an actor.
No, the snake, whatever the snake was, he's playing the snake.
As an actor, I just feel like those, there wouldn't be a role that you'd be like thrilled to have because it's a role that like 17 other people have done.
Yeah, but that's why you're thrilled to do it. It's classic. It's the same reason Haley Williams or whatever her name is excited to be Peter in Peter Pan and the NBC. Ashley Williams. Thank you.
Just give me the 2.
Everybody's done it, but it's been around for so long. It's kind of a story thing. Mm-hmm. You're in a long, prestigious line of people who have portrayed this character.
But you also have to be compared to everybody who's ever done it. I mean, like
but after a while, enough people do it. It's hard to compare them all.
I think going back to the conversation that we had last week about Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah.
To me, if you're going to bring something back and and fans of the show are still around, bring those old characters back and have them mentor somebody else. Don't try to make a new Ponch. Fuck that. Bring Ponch back.
Maybe he's like Bill Murray. He just doesn't want to do it. I mean, or spend the last 3 decades.
I can believe me. If what the fuck was that guy's name? You remember what his name is?
I can imagine him.
No idea.
The guy who played Ponch.
No, based on the Chips thing, though, it sounds like it's real early production. Like Dax Shepard has a couple of producers behind him, and
they haven't even read the script.
Yeah, there's literally nothing else going on there. So this is probably a never going to happen thing.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you that
I could kind of see him in the role, though.
Well, I mean, he's got to come back as Ponch. And the dude's available, all right? He's doing shitty. He's doing shitty, like, sci-fi
He'll
movies.
be in the movie. I promise you, he'll be in the movie as sort of a wink and a nod.
He can't be in it as, like,
22 Jump Street, like
Bob the street dude. Fuck that.
Well, when they did Starsky and Hutch, both Starsky and Hutch were in that movie, weren't they?
Yeah. But not as Starsky and
No,
Hutch.
they were, like, one of them gives Ben Stiller the car.
Right. Because he's passing it down to the next generation.
Eric Estrada.
Eric Estrada. How did we not know Eric?
I knew Eric, but I couldn't remember his last name.
You should have said Eric. We might have got there.
Eric Estrada. I mean, he would jump on the fucking boat right
weird?
fucking
Look
there.
at that. He does a lot of Robot Chicken. He does a shitload of Robot Chicken.
Yeah, and Larry...
Well, maybe he's the new chief.
Larry Wilcox has played John.
Yeah, he could be the new chief. I like that.
But have him be Ponch as the chief. Fuck it. Yes.
Yeah, okay. There you go. We just wrote the script for you.
Who plays Ponch then? Who plays young Ponch?
Oh, no, they already
young
announced
Ponch.
it.
There's like Bob. And you get some dude to play Bob.
No,
he's Arthur Poncherello. Unless he's like his kid. What? Ponch's kid. He goes up to be a police officer on the highway patrol of Los Angeles County.
And because it's Hollywood, it's going to be a female. So Zoe Saldana.
Oh, there we go. We just wrote this shit. Yep.
You just need to fill in like a couple fart jokes, and you have a PG-13 shitty-ass movie.
There you go. Exactly.
And it'll still make $80 million.
Nah, I don't know about that.
You're right.
Sin City kind of got shit on this past couple of weeks. So.
I liked it.
You did?
Yeah.
I've heard it's okay. It's not the same as the first one.
I thought it actually knew what it was doing.
I think the problem with this one is the marketing took a shit.
Yeah, you didn't really hear much, and like when you watch the trailer, like most trailers now tell you the entire story, and that one just was all mood and everything, which can be fine, because 50 Shades of Grey is still going to sell 50 billion copies.
Well, there's a lot of horny, lonely housewives in the world.
Oh, you're at 13.
I'm at 13.
Fuck it. No one's...
Thomas is close.
Thomas is right on top.
What does that mean?
13 ends the game.
Oh.
Since you got 13 ends the game, so we all get one more turn.
Okay.
So you got to beat 13.
Okay.
You get 4.
You gotta get 4.
Okay.
All right.
And then is the game over? You guys still have a chance to rebut?
We still get a chance. We all get a chance. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you remember what we're talking about. Greatest American Hero. But
we kind of dove.
I highly doubt that makes it past the pilot. I highly doubt that.
That would be...
You got another.
But you never know.
Okay, so Mike's got to try to get
it's about
11.
Yeah, it's
or
about
12.
time. The cycle has come around. Let's remake. Let's see if we can get some old '80s TV shows and remake them. The cycle's here.
In the height of the Dark Knight series, Fox couldn't launch a Wonder Woman TV show, so there's no way in fuck that they're going to do Greatest American Hero.
Hey, they're getting Supergirl apparently.
Tits.
I don't even know what that means. Okay, Supergirl got tits apparently.
Supergirl.
Great. All right.
You
making a comeback?
I'm gonna come on someone.
Go back.
How many do I need? Wow! Infinity Batman symbol. Let's do this.
Whoa! He can do it. He can do it. No.
No! Got a helmet.
Oh, we got a helmet. He's still surviving.
I'm still alive.
Can he do it? Can he make it happen?
No.
Super.
Good try.
All right. You're our only hope, Obi-Wan. Next one. Stan Lee at Fan Expo this past week did a kind of a major leak, and I don't think he was supposed to do it.
I also don't think it's a major leak.
How old is he? Like 106?
91, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's gonna drop some shit once in a while. It's just gonna happen.
Literal shit.
Yeah.
And what are they gonna do? The dude's like 90 fucking years old. What are they gonna do?
Not put him in one of the movies? I don't think so.
I almost didn't put him
No,
in Guardians of the
basically,
Galaxy.
he said that the Black Widow movie is definitely happening at some point. which I don't think anybody's too surprised by.
Yeah.
And that Black Panther is currently in the works.
Yeah.
We've heard about Doctor Strange and Captain America 3 and stuff like that, but apparently Black Panther is close to being in production right now.
Wow.
Is this a surprise for other people? Because for me, it's not a surprise.
I kind of feel like it's a surprise. There's no setup for him. He's not a first known Marvel character.
I wouldn't even go so far as to say he's a second tier character. I mean, that's dipping.
Yeah.
That's dipping down.
He was definitely Avenger at one point, though.
Yeah.
You gotta give him that.
Well,
He's still an
aren't they
Avenger.
just making movies to make movies at this point for Marvel?
Yeah.
Because they can.
Yeah.
Because
The
they got
Guardians
a
of the Galaxy
fuck ton of
proved
money.
they can.
Well, that was actually part of his quote. It was like, at this point, they're gonna
Print
every
money.
character's gonna get a movie. So
Yep.
Groot, a character Stan Lee created with Jack Kirby back in like 1960 that did nothing for years, is now a giant comic book selling. He's got a new toy coming out.
Baby Groot all over the place.
Dancing little thing. I mean, it's now huge.
Somehow that thing where you clap and the fucking cactus with the sunglasses. They just reskinned that thing and it's Groot now.
Yeah.
You're gonna find that on Christmas.
And it's gonna sell.
It will.
And it's gonna sell.
It's going to be the new Furby.
Yeah. There you go. They'll put a little chip in it. Fuck yeah.
The question I had was, because there's 1,000 fucking... I'm getting really tired of some of the casting rumors on some of these fucking movies.
Yeah.
Because there's a new one, like Doctor Strange, for instance. There's a new one every fucking week.
Well, I think Latino Review exists to create a new rumor every other day.
Yes.
I think that's the point of that site. I've never actually been to it, but I hear about it's.
They're right a lot. It's amazingly.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a shotgun. If you shoot in the air, eventually you're gonna hit something.
But they've been doing that. I mean, that's Hollywood rags for you. That's what they do.
All right,
So.
but here's the question I had. I haven't heard a goddamn thing about Black Panther.
Okay.
Who the fuck is going to be Black Panther? Who's going to be it? The only idea I had was Isaiah Mustafa.
Yeah.
The guy from the Old Spice commercials. The old Spice commercials.
Because Terry Crews obviously has to be Luke Cage when they finally do Luke Cage.
Yeah, they got
Netflix
well,
series.
actually, Isaiah Mustafa made a short film as him playing Luke Cage. A few years
but Terry
ago.
Crews has been asking to play for years, and Terry Crews is just absolutely. So I don't know, because Idris Elba comes to mind, but he's already Hemdall, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Also, you got to pick somebody younger because you have to do. It's going to be an origin story where they show his dad dying. I can see Idris Elba playing his dad, whoever it is, the original king.
What's Turk's real name?
Huh?
What's Turk's real name?
Oh, Black Scrubs.
Faison.
Yeah,
Donald Faison. There we go.
I think he's. I mean,
I can see that happening a little bit.
Yeah, but he's he's got to.
Nah, there's no humor.
He's got to also be. He's also got to be regal and just wait to.
Well, that's
step.
why I immediately went to Isaiah Mustafa.
Yeah.
That dude looks like a fucking
And actually-
statue walking
Right.
around.
And he, it's not like Chris Pratt where you're like, when you looked at him, a couple years ago, you're like, how is he gonna play? I mean, so you can do it. But
Slightly chubby Chris Pratt is very different from Guardians of the Galaxy Chris Pratt.
But you gotta have an air of kind of regality, kind of just takes the room over, and
Steroids, people.
Okay,
All we need is some
British
steroids.
actors, because weirdly he always sort of had. Because the voice actors didn't know how to do an African accent for a long time, he was always sort of British when you'd watch old videos with Black Panther. So is there any black British actors that come to mind?
Besides Elba.
What's that new kid that's in Star Wars Episode 7?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I can't remember.
He was
his
also
name.
in Attack the Block.
I know
Yeah.
He's like one of the main characters of Episode 7 too.
Yeah.
So that's I could see that as working. He'd have to get a lot bigger.
If you want to double dip, and steal away from Fox, Michael B. Jordan could be a decent.
Michael B.
pickup.
Jordan, yeah, I can see that.
Chris Evans already double dipped. So why not?
I just want that dude from Undercover Brother. That's what I want. But I know it's not going to happen.
Undercover Brother?
That dude from Undercover Brother.
Yeah.
I'll look up his name. He's hilarious.
He'll look this one up, but he won't look up the legitimate ones. That
Because that ain't fun.
Who's the guy in Pootie Tang? That's who I want.
I don't think he Well, let's get a Wayans to do it. Fuck it.
Eddie Griffin.
Actually,
yeah.
Damian Wayne's Jr.
Eddie
Let's
Griffin
get Mos Def. Fuck yeah, let's do Mos Def.
Mos Def's old.
So?
Also, his name's not Mos Def anymore.
Damian Wayans Jr. I've enjoyed.
It's
He changed his name again?
No, it's something.
Dave Chappelle.
It's something super Islamic.
Dave Chappelle.
Let's Be Cops was good, so I enjoyed that. So
Chris
Damian
Rock.
Wayans,
Oh yeah, who's that guy?
Chris Rock
Damian
to do
Wayans
it.
Jr.
Damon Wayans Jr. Yeah, Damon Wayans Jr. could probably do it.
Damon Wayans has a kid named Junior?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
He's on New Girl. He's on Let's Be Cops.
and he was really good.
He was really
Look
good
that
on New
shit up.
Girl. I like that show. I like
yeah.
New Girl. Fuck you.
I enjoy it also.
It's funny.
Yes, there was a scene about lawyers about how Nick was going to file motion after motion after motion.
First, I got to show everybody Undercover Brother poster.
Yeah.
Because that's important.
That's very, very important.
Very important. There's some little Eddie
And
Gibbon.
I tell that joke
Undercover
to my
Brother.
law school
See what I'm
friends
saying?
all the time.
Good stuff.
The only
Well,
problem I have with the Black Panther movie is that he gets married to Storm very quickly in the comic series.
Well, not in the story, like in timeline, but yeah, that was basically a retcon because they wanted to marry the two largest black characters.
It's Storm hot. I mean,
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
but it's still holding. It's still holding.
They got divorced
Oh, did they?
2 years ago. Like after Avengers, because he's the high priest of Wakanda, where he's from, he just annulled the marriage because he got pissed off at his wife.
Fair enough. I didn't know that
Comic
at all.
book nerd, hi.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, because
You're double dipping
the
on your knowledge today, buddy.
the Phoenix became the X-Men became like part Phoenix, and they Storm was one of, and didn't become part Phoenix, but she was part of the attack on Wakanda, like drowned like millions of people, and he just was like, "Yep, now we're annulled."
Look, that ass ain't worth it. Okay?
You drowned everybody.
Sorry, Hallie.
no, that's the chick named Storm, all right? You got to expect there's going to be a little friction.
Yeah,
okay?
you got to take the good with the bad, but you know she's good and bad, right?
It's
You know
like,
she's
she
good and
hot,
bad.
but her name's Storm. There are going to be some issues.
They call her a goddess for a reason.
She was a pickpocket. She's got quick hands. Just think about it.
All right, here's Damon Wayans Jr.
He's
Check
a
it out.
good-looking dude,
He's
by
a
the way.
good-looking guy.
I think he could pull it off.
Nice looking dude.
He's a good-looking dude.
And Marvel likes. And
Also, he's the right
can
body
totally-
type.
Yeah.
He's
You
like
can totally
he's like 6'2" and built very
Yeah,
well.
you
He's
can totally
the right
see the
body
Wayans
type.
in him. Look at the Wayans. Just
Yeah.
the ears. Check that out.
He got
All
the
kind
good
of Wayans
Wayans,
there.
though.
Yeah.
He got the good
I mean, let's be honest, his dad's the best. His dad's the best.
He got the good Wayans
Yeah.
as opposed to like some of the other Wayans stuff. That
Yeah, like what's his name?
Marlon?
Marlon.
Scary movie. What's the one where he plays
Sorry,
a baby?
dude. Sorry. You know.
yeah, scary movie, I think.
No, what, it's like
Big Boss or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Who to boss? No.
It's just he plays a baby, and I went
Yeah,
like,
no.
you expect me to pay money for that? Because that's not happening.
All right.
oh man.
So, in agreement, Black Panther movie could be cool.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
I mean, Marvel. You said there might not be humor. Marvel injects humor in everything. I mean, Marvel versus
Black
DC,
Panther isn't funny though.
but it could be.
Yeah, but it
Well,
isn't funny.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it was absurd. I didn't know. it was great.
They're hilarious.
That was-
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not
funny.
denying it, but I mean that comic isn't normally that funny. Besides Cosmo, which should be the star of the second one, because you think a Rocky Raccoon was funny, Cosmo's even better.
Where the fuck was Nova?
Well, I think they were. What's his face was gonna be at Castle. Firefly. Fillion, but he apparently wanted to. They wanted to do a cameo, but he might want to actually be in like a full movie. So
He's the voice of the giant blue guy that they beat up in the prison scene.
Yeah. We actually know he's actually the actor. I mean, he's not just the voice. He's the.
Oh, he's the guy in the suit?
Yeah. So, but he wanted to have a bigger role because they were also going to make him Howard the Duck, but now what? Seth Green.
Seth Green's Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
Actually,
which
I think
makes
that's
way
a
more
good call.
sense.
Yeah, he's got great vocal range when it
Yeah.
comes to voice acting. He's got amazing vocal
And
range.
now he doesn't have dads to do anymore. So
that award-winning show, Dads!
I couldn't believe it got picked up for the back order. I was just like, seriously? I watched 2 episodes and it was like, I usually give shows 3 episodes. I didn't even give that one.
Somebody drove up into his driveway, just backed in and dumped a bunch of money onto him.
but-
Said, "Would you please do this?"
Speaking of not giving it
Fine.
3 episodes, I have the same rule. I try to give it 3 or 4
Yeah.
episodes. BoJack Horseman on Netflix, that show's fucking bad, man. I gave it 2 episodes. Every character sucks and is unlikable, and fuck them all.
I
and you
watched
don't
the
care.
trailer and I was like, I'm not even going to give it
Right?
an episode.
Exactly.
I tried because
Yeah.
I don't have to pay anything. I don't have to go out of my way.
Right.
I already have Netflix. I was just going to try, and holy shit. Miller, I love you, man. You're hilarious, but fuck that show's
And
bad.
also, the Millers, what are you doing? I know, finally you got a show renewed, but
Yeah,
still, that
that's
show is awful.
All
You
right.
loved him in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, God, fuck that movie.
I will
You
not
had had to go there.
I will not give Michael Bay any more of my money.
He said in a half
I
shell.
will not give Michael Bay any more of my money. It's not gonna happen.
They made Will Arnett say in a half shell.
Is he Casey Jones? Who the hell is he?
No, he's the other. Actually, I don't remember.
Is he the
his
shitty
character's
reporter?
Name. He's the other reporter that in the comics hates April.
Yeah.
They do not like each other. But he spent the entire movie just staring at her ass and drooling. Just the same as Michelangelo did. Fuck yourself, Michael Bay. Not everybody's that way.
I hear Michael Bay is going to touch on, some of my other favorite children's toys.
He is an absolute champion for feminism in the modern age.
Oh, man.
All right, let's move on.
2?
Let's move
3?
on.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on. All right, baskets. Who's up?
New game.
New game.
Oh, Chad won. Chad won.
I won it.
What do you win?
Slap hands. He wins a grape.
Oh,
Great.
sweet.
I'll buy this one.
One of them's poisonous.
You found the poisonous one.
You picked.
You probably should have guessed
You chose poorly.
It was the one green one amongst all the purple grapes. You really should have picked this one out.
Should have tried harder.
It's not like a free onion ring in your thing of fries.
Baskets. Louis C.K., Zach Galifianakis, and Jonathan Krysl, who is apparently one of the creators of Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job, got together and created a series called Baskets that is going to star Zach Galifianakis.
Okay.
It is about Chip Baskets, a guy who leaves his corporate job to join a prestigious clown college in Paris. Apparently, episode 1, he fails out horribly.
Man, I wanted a whole season of that.
And the only job he can get is he gets a job at a rodeo. And the whole thing's about him being the worst clown that's ever been.
Like rodeo clown.
Yeah, rodeo clown. But not just
That's
that.
a dangerous job.
Just clowns in general. He's just a terrible clown.
Is it called Baskets because he's a basket weaver?
No, it's because his last name is Chip. Fucking listen. His name is Chip Baskets.
Yeah, because that's where they started. Let's come up with a name and then name the show. No, let's be honest. They started with the title of the show.
No, it was an unnamed pilot that FX picked up in January, and they've been approved for 10 whole episodes already by FX. Would you watch?
Is it
this
FX
show?
or is it FXX? A channel no one gets.
They all have. I don't know. They've got like 3 networks now. It'll be on some of them.
I'm just upset because I couldn't watch The League last night because it's not on FX anymore, and
It's
I don't
on FXX. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a channel I have to pay like $80 more a month, and that's not going to happen.
Would I watch that show?
It's a TV show created by Louis C.K. starring Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
I mean that carries a lot of weight onto it.
You would think that there's some comic possibilities there. My gut right now is telling me that that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm saying no too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Again, I'll give it 3 episodes.
It doesn't feel right, does
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right, people.
Zach Galifianakis, for those who don't know, doesn't do well on television. He shits on everything he's in, by the way. He shits on everything he's in.
What was he in?
He was the... what was that? With Eliza Dushku.
Okay.
He was like a crime scene investigator or like a mortician or something in some show with her. And it got canceled. And first off, they didn't let him go on any of the press tours because he had...
A while ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a bad show either. I think I remember I remember the show. It wasn't bad.
He was in a really weird movie. There was like this weird cells, and it was like counter agents versus counter agents, and then he was just like this weird serial killer that was like the assassin. Oh no, it's just like a weird Netflix movie that my buddy turned on one night, and it was the most disturbing I've ever seen.
True Calling is what you're talking
about.
Oh, yes. Okay.
From back 2003 to 2005. They made a few seasons of it, and it wasn't bad.
It had like 4 or 5 seasons.
There's a story of him when the show got canceled. They announced it. The showrunner announced it on set for everybody, so everybody knew. It was a really solemn moment. He said, "We're getting canceled for," and I think it was Jersey Shore, or some reality TV show like that.
Okay.
And everybody's getting all solemn and stuff, and he just puts his hand up. They call on him, and he goes, "Do you know the casting director?" Yeah, he just.
I'm sure he's not that different than his character in Hangover. So
No, he's super shy, but just a complete asshole from the sounds of it. Like super funny, but just kind of a dickhead.
It was like the Red something. or The Room. It's like an 2011, I think,
The
show.
Room.
It's not The Room, but it was
The
like something
Room
like
is a
that.
very different movie.
Yeah, I said Red Room.
Rad Rob.
Maybe it's Rogues Gallery?
Anyway, I'll watch it. I don't know. I'd give it a shot. Louis C.K. is the
it's
more
Rogues
interesting
Gallery. He
part
plays
for
the
me
hermit.
than
That's
it is
right.
Zach Galifianakis. Louis C.K.,
movie.
as far as I'm concerned right now, when it comes to TV, and especially FX, TV on FX, he seems to be able to do whatever he wants.
Dude can write his own ticket, and there's no doubt about it. He's paid his dues, and he deserves it. So,
Yeah. Louis is fucking amazing. For anybody who's not watching Louis right now, it's fucking
You got like
amazing.
2 years before the next season comes.
And FX will wait for him to do that.
Yep. Because they know it's guaranteed ratings whenever he shows back up.
Yeah. Yep.
Hell, Dave Chappelle could go back to the Chappelle Show and probably Comedy Central.
Totally could.
Yeah.
Totally
the
could.
untitled Louis C.K. Zach Galifianakis project, right there.
It's called Baskets.
That is a very
It's not
sexy
untitled. It's called
title.
Baskets.
Untitled.
Sexy title.
It's called Baskets.
Not as
Okay.
sexy.
Until it's on IMDb, it's not true.
Okay, fair enough. So,
Yeah, all I want-
multiple web series we've done that have never happened, or
All I want to know is, if you're an actor, and I go look at your Wikipedia or IMDb page, and it's not up to date, why don't you have a guy, literally, his job
updating that
is
shit.
to update? Or at least you could do it. It takes, 5 minutes? I mean, if you got a new project, why is it not up? That's all I got to say.
Megan said she was really confused by the
Mystery.
site. She used to try to update her own stuff, and she was really confused by the site, something about it.
Okay.
And there's like 3 Meg Wendrowskis now on IMDb because
no,
she keeps...
because she keeps
Instead, as
doing
opposed to
stuff.
figuring out, trying to go through the process of trying to figure out how to update it, she just created a new version of herself with all of her old stuff. Plus new stuff.
Oh, I forgot my password. New account.
That works.
Yep.
All right.
My
move.
46 Hotmail accounts are
Tell you
still
what,
active.
you watch it and you tell us if it's any good.
Okay, when it comes out in like 3 years, if I
Okay.
remember.
Deal.
Next, this is the last news topic.
15 minutes.
Last news topic. Malaysia Airlines. Everybody knows Malaysia Airlines, correct? They've had a lot.
They lose
Kinda-
planes. Is that right?
They lose people in planes. They've had a kind of.
They know where the planes are. They just don't know where the people. Is that
They
what
don't
you're
know where one of the planes are.
They lost the plane. They just don't know where it is.
They've kind of had a rough last 4 months.
Well.
They lost both the planes and everyone on the planes of both flight MH17 and MH370. Everybody died.
I don't know where it is.
Or the people who went into the ocean went to the fucking Lost Island. We don't
Yep.
fucking know.
Yeah.
But
could happen.
Plato, thank you.
But to try and boost perception, they came out with a new contest, only for the people in New Zealand and Australia.
Oh, I can't enter?
No, you
You
cannot
didn't tell
enter.
me that.
Well, actually, the contest is gone.
I'll take
They
the
removed
figures.
it from the internet. If you try to go to the website now, it's a 404 error message that you get there now. They kind of fucked this one up a little bit. What they called it is my ultimate bucket list.
Or things I need to do before I ever get on a Malaysia Airlines. Hey.
It was a 500-word essay about people, what they wanted to do before they died. That they were supposed to send into Malaysia Airlines to win a free flight to somewhere.
Meet the Kraken?
Yeah.
No.
How well did that go over?
Lo and behold, not so great, Thomas. Damn it. A lot of people got really upset with them.
Yes.
My marketing major is worthless.
Yep.
I want an entire wing of a marketing studio to have been fired for this one.
I would have been an asshole and been like, to be a part of an act of war.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
But, God, come on! Malaysia Airlines, you're winning a Darwin Award this year
Okay,
for that.
does anybody,
hands
actually,
down.
does anybody actually know where Malaysia is? Exactly. Maybe you shouldn't fly in their airline.
Yeah.
If you can't find it on a map, maybe don't get in
man.
their planes.
Yeah, but we can't find anything on a map.
I can find Mexico and maybe Canada on a good day.
We will give you Texas if you point at it.
Wow. That's
What
just
are your
poor.
thoughts on this? John.
I think most of it has been said. I mean, whoever thought of that desperately needs to be fired and should never be allowed to do any marketing at all.
No PR work, nothing.
Now, I mean, and I'm sure to some people that shit was funny. There was somebody out there that was like, "Oh, dude, this is going to be fucking hilarious." Okay, people will love this. People, listen. Okay.
Oh no, that was not my first response.
We're going. Okay, no wait. We're going to have a contest. Okay. No wait. No. Just bear with me. Okay. Bucket list contest. Am I right? Am I right?
And if they didn't, that's even worse.
Somebody thought that.
Because that cleared probably like 14 different levels of red tape. Like 14 different levels.
You're right. Somebody had to sign off on that.
There were like 17 signatures that had to say, "Yeah, I think that's a really good idea."
Do you think that this is finally the nail in the coffin for the entire airlines? Because how much faith can you put in them at this point? Like as a company.
Well, if
first off, they're an airline company that can't fucking keep their planes in the air. Secondly, they're incapable of making intelligent business decisions.
Right. It's not like Chrysler
the
bringing in
PR
Lee Iacocca,
campaign they had when they lost all of the airplanes wasn't exactly great.
No.
They're
going to be bankrupt by the end of the year.
They refused to say that it was their fault when the thing flew into the fucking ocean.
Well, and actually why they didn't, and again, legal speak, is because once they admit it, then the burden of proof, they end up, because there's the normal $150,000 about is what they have to pay per passenger, but if they admit that it's their fault, now you open up to lawsuits that can total $10 million, $15 million a person. So that's why they would never admit to it, because otherwise they would be screwed and they'd be bankrupt.
There was never even an apology, though.
Because they can't admit it. Because once you admit it, you're up. I mean, because there's the normal rights, and then if it's an act of like the captain or whoever, and they're at fault, they are opening themselves up to lawsuits that are 10, 15 million a person.
Still bullshit.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying their lawyers are going, shut the hell up.
Well, at least somebody in that company is paying attention.
Yeah,
I would say yes. That it's at this point after this, there's not. I would have a hard time seeing that airline staying in business.
No,
they just have to be done. There's no way you can salvage that shit.
No.
What you do is you sell that shit off and just.
Who? Who wants that?
No, I mean
nobody wants their planes.
You
can't just rebrass a plane.
I'm pretty sure that's how Southwest's entire model. I fly them; it's cheap, but like they're all like
this is a Cessna from 1935. I'll just repaint it and call it. We'll put 37 more seats in it.
And we're like, you totally have legroom. You do not have legroom.
Yeah, if you stand on your head.
Did you see about that new? There's apparently a fight between people who want to recline and people who just want to get their legs up.
There was a fist fight on the plane.
Well, actually, they had to divert 3 different flights for the same reason.
Apparently, there's a new thing you can buy, probably from SkyMall, that like makes it so the person in front of you can't lean back. Yeah, because the people with back problems just want to sit in that weird cramped seat the entire time.
I have a weird story about SkyMall.
Oh, okay.
Christina Leonard.
It's now on the internet.
Christina Leonard, you know Christina.
I do.
A friend of ours, lives in LA currently, making that actor money.
Living a dream.
She was on a flight and she tweeted that she accidentally stole a SkyMall magazine from the airplane. She just happened to put it in her purse, forgot completely about it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I feel so bad now. And I just tweeted back, Thug Life!
Wait, I thought you were allowed to take them.
Thug Life.
I don't know. She didn't feel like she could.
Belongs to the airline, buddy.
I'm pretty sure I thought that.
You can find yourself on a terrorist watch list for taking that shit.
You can find yourself on a terrorist watch list for having a Facebook account.
True.
I'm on 7 of them, actually.
A watch list.
Maybe I should stop saying bomb in airports.
Also on the phone or pedophile.
The NSA, if you're watching, and I know you are.
They're the only ones watching. All right. Nick, okay, move on to indie picks. Indie picks?
I apologize, I did not have an indie pick today.
All right, I got one. I got an indie pick. Indie picks is this thing we do at the end of towards the end of every episode where we promote something that isn't ours that we think is cool for the week, and we promote something. You don't have to have one. So okay. All right. My indie pick for this week is WTF happened to PG-13. It's a YouTube video that you can actually go to the website at www.goodbadflix.com.
Right.
www.goodbadflicks.com. And what it is, it's about 18 minutes long, and it just explains, over the past decade to 15 years, the degradation of what PG-13 means to cinema. And it's absolutely true. PG-13 means is an awful connotation for a movie these days. Yeah. It generally does not hold well.
The board that does ratings, the one requirement for that board is you have kids. I mean, that's the one requirement. When they did the found out who was on it like 5 years ago, I think there's 40 members. Only 3 out of the 40 actually had kids or ever had kids, which means the people in charge. It's more secret than the NSA. The people doing the ratings. I mean, like literally, they had to like go through garbage. Like the NSA is at least up front and be like, yeah, we're listening. Suck it. But they literally had to go through like garbage. There's a documentary about like them, filtering through the garbage to figure out who's actually involved with these idiots.
Wow. And
the one requirement to be on this board is to have kids, and only 6% of the people actually have the kids needed.
Well, I mean,
So who are we
They
protecting?
kept people under the age of 18 in their house and couldn't leave, so that's the same thing, right? All right.
But they're actors.
This video is fantastic. It talks about it starts off with talking about the creation of the PG-13 rating. That Steven Spielberg is actually the person who originally pushed for it. Because he had done 2 movies. There was Gremlins, I think, and what was the one right next to that? Was it Poltergeist?
Poltergeist,
it's all about the
Gremlins,
same,
and Goonies came out.
Poltergeist. It was Poltergeist and Gremlins. He got a lot of shit because they were both PG when they came out. He got a lot of shit because those are kind of gory movies, actually.
Yeah.
Poltergeist, the guy pulls his fucking face off there in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Loves that scene.
It's a great
That
scene.
is a great
it's
scene.
hard to watch. It's still bad makeup, and it's still hard to watch. It's still hard
That's why
to
it's
watch.
enjoyable.
But he got a lot of shit from people. He's like, "It's not a PG movie. It's to my kids." And blah, blah, blah. So he went to the MPAA board and went, "Can we put something between PG and R so that PG people can push the envelope a little bit and make a little bit more of a mature movie?"
Right.
And that's what it stayed for about 20 years. And then it slowly became this anchor, and it goes into greater detail on this, actually citing different movies that were sort of the beginning of the end of different.
Cool.
It's a fantastic watch. That PG-13 moved from a PG pushing the envelope to R getting held down by an anchor.
Yeah. You limit the number of fucks, and it's essentially an R-rated movie. But because basically movies don't want to get to R because you can't sell. I mean, there are some R-rated comedies that sell. So basically, you have to dumb down a good movie to make it more commercially available. But is it actually any different? Because I've read articles about basically they've resubmitted the movie and maybe removed a word or a single frame, and somehow it goes from R to PG-13.
Well, he actually, the guy who did this goes into a couple of movies that had to remove 15, 20 minutes to make, because the studio behind it were too afraid to go with an R, so they wanted to go to a PG-13, and it removes whole plot chunks, and the final stroke is nobody likes it because nobody understands the fucking movie.
Yep.
And it basically talks about what a deadweight PG-13 currently is.
Well,
now the person that does agree with the MPAA ratings, he thinks that there should be some sort of rating for people.
People need to know.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
But it's a better example of what the problem with our current MPAA ratings is in cinema, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. Very informative.
I would go so far as to say it's more of a problem of studios being afraid of the R rating.
Yeah.
Well, there's
That's
also
the problem. Don't fear the R rating. Don't fear
But
it.
it's like people talk about how violent movies and stuff are these days, and maybe it's because there's more guns. But back in the day, and I'm going to compare 2 movies that they actually compare in that, but I already have this comparison in my head. The original and the new Red Dawn. If you watch both of those movies, the original Red Dawn, there's a scene, the scene in the snow where the guy's begging for his life, and one kid comes up, and blood just shoots out of him, right? And the one actor's covered in blood and stuff like that, and the guy dies, and that was a PG-13 movie. Right. That was the current Red Dawn, the new Red Dawn that was made a few years ago. was also PG-13, but every gunshot had no blood. It's as if these people were made of nothing.
Okay, well, you also have to remember that also
So much better movie.
The Chinese
84 version is
Oh,
so
of
much
course.
better.
No, wildly better.
I mean, they redid that movie because they originally had the Chinese as the bad guys, but then the Chinese apparently were funding that movie, and they were like, So they digitally altered everything to make it North Korean, and in China, the requirements for blood and all that is much, much different than ours.
Yeah.
And actually, I think a lot of those changes were actually for the Chinese market rather than ours. So
Absolutely, I'm sure. But it's just to talk about the current problems with the MPAA rating.
there are so many artsy, more like darker adult movies that literally would be qualified as PG-13. Everything right, literally because they don't want to be too kiddie. They literally throw in like 2 seconds of boobs, and now there are, and so they can be like
2 seconds of boobs shouldn't do that anymore. Back in the 80s and stuff like that, that was a PG movie. Beastmaster had a 2 minute solid double tits, two ladies, boobs all out. 2 minute solid scene, PG movie.
And to bring this back to earlier, the Mr. Duck that is now Howard the Duck had, duck boobs, and that was still PG movie, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't be afraid of the R. Don't be afraid.
Don't
of
be
the R. You
afraid
can still
of
make
the
a bunch of money making an awesome R-rated film.
Yeah, but movies are down.
One of the great stats from it, and I'm sorry to ruin all of the good stuff in this thing that I'm telling people to go watch, but one of the great stats in it was they were talking about studios are so afraid to do the R, but since in the 27 years or something like that, since PG-13 has been installed, there's been 1 Oscar winner that was PG, 6 Oscar winners that were PG-13, and 20 hard R Oscar-winning movies.
Yep. What's the one?
I couldn't even tell you.
Okay.
It was probably some Pixar fucking movie.
But they never won. They never won Best Picture.
I don't know.
No. So the PG-13 I could think of would be Return of the King.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Okay.
But it's a great example of you're not making your movie better.
Yep.
You're not making your movie better.
Absolutely true.
All right, that was my indie pick. All right, let's move on to this little thing I like to do at the end of every week. It's called the...
I don't know.
Do you have an indie pick?
Yeah, indie pick. I'm a big... So I outed myself as a big comic book nerd. There's a comic coming out called Lazarus by 2 of my favorite creators, Greg Rucka, Michael Lark. It's set in the near future. Basically, as the 1%, the 0.01% get wealthier and wealthier. Basically, what if the most powerful families in the world, because they have all those money because they're controlled, basically we're able to take over the world and create a new kind of caste system. We have serfs who are essentially their servants, and the family's protected. And then you have the waste, the gene waste, as a word that I want to start using in my everyday life. Essentially, just all the rest of us. If you're not useful, you become waste. If you're useful, you become a serf, and the family's protected. And it's got futuristic tech, absolutely fantastic graphics.
What's it called again?
It's called Lazarus. By Image Comics, by Greg Rucka and Michael Lark. I think the 10th issue just came out. You can buy the first trade, which is the first 5 issues, like $10. It's absolutely fantastic. Go out and look at it. It's really and in the back of every issue, they have different articles about cutting edge medical research and stuff like that. That kind of something happens in the comic 2 months before, and then something all of a sudden happens in real life, and it's kind of creepy how something kind of predicted in the comics is actually genes replacement
fiction
stuff.
predicting reality.
Yeah, but even in a 1 month, 2 month span, it's really kind of creepy.
That's the ape hive mind that I've seen some experiments on that they would separate different families of apes, and they would teach one group how to use a hammer or something like that, and within a month or two the other group would just know how to use it without being taught.
Well, it's like the experiment where basically if you had the monkeys that if they went to go get the cheese or the banana that's up on top, and then but if you go up there they all get buzzed. And so basically, if you slowly start replacing each monkey, after a couple of while, eventually you'll have all new monkeys, and none of them will know why they're not supposed to go for the banana, but they'll be angry at the one that goes for the banana, despite the fact that none of them were around when the experiment actually started.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right, let's move on to the hypothetical now.
Okay, let's do that again. All right, there we go.
All right. The hypothetical this week has to do with Malaysia Airlines.
Of course it does.
You winners of industry.
Of course it does.
I would like you to come up with a poorly timed marketing campaign. It can be at any point in history for any company or any event, anything like that. But I would like you to come up with a marketing campaign that just, man, it was just bad timing all around.
That's a great hypothetical, but this one takes a little time to this isn't off the top of your head.
I gave you guys a head of
I
schedule.
did get a heads up.
Yeah.
She already saw my Joan Rivers, new special, What to Wear at Your Funeral.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber, new concert series, Respect Mounties. He's doing it for the Mounties. He wants to present himself as a role model for all Canadians.
Mm-hmm. My first one would be West Africa. Come here. Great vacation spot.
Sights to see in Ukraine, now in Russian edition.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
That's not bad.
Let's see. What else we got? Man, I had some preloaded and I didn't write them down. And I regret that. Oh, Enron. You can trust us.
Spain, free blankets for everyone.
Going real deep on that one. The New World. Let's go back way. The New World. Have corn and people to rape. What do you got? You had a.
I don't like the one I had before, but you'd be like, you want to be president? Look what happened to this guy.
What?
Be like, you want to be president? Look what happened to this guy. And you can do any of them is the best part.
Yeah.
So you want to be president.
Or,
And it's just a tagline with Lincoln standing there.
yeah.
Jews vacation in Germany. It's all right.
Oh, man.
And then I was thinking about something about the Bible or the crucifix after the crucifixion of
Yeah.
Jesus.
Pearl Harbor, the skies are so beautiful.
Wall Street, working for the working man.
Brooklyn Bridge, it's really fun to jump off.
Look at the view.
Oh, man.
Take a close look at the view. All right. You got one, Chad?
It's okay.
I had one. I feel good about the one I had.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop there.
All right. If you got one, that's a good one to put in the comments.
Man.
Send it in.
Put yours in the comments this week. Let's hear your bad marketing, whatever the fuck.
Wow.
All right.
And maybe you could get a job at Malaysia Airlines if you do good enough.
You could be CEO at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, remember, have fun, play with your friends, hang out, look at cool stuff, stay informed. Have fun! Bye! God again.
I'll see you guys later.
We haven't had a problem.
Find some shit off now.
You guys are drinking like Mexican beers this
Yeah,
week.
cervezas.
Yes.
Did you also eat the worm?
No, it's tequila.
Yeah. There's no worm in a beer. There's
Well,
What?
actually,
Whoa. There's no worm in the beer?
you add your own worm.
Oh my god, I gotta go to